My name is Louis Brandmeier. I'm a dating and relationship coach at How to Make Love Easy coaching, and I've been working on conscious sex and intimacy in some sense for 18 years. I'm going to tell you a story. No, let's back up. My intention for this workshop is to share my story and in the process have you see and let go of illusions that may be there in your speaking, in your way of being around sex and around intimacy, to create thus also a profound space for you to share with one another. Everybody look next to you, make sure you have a partner. You guys would be partners, two. Janet needs a partner, somebody up front. Let's see, is there somebody willing to sit? I'd be willing, I'll share with you. Does everybody have a partner? Yes. All right, great. Because sharing is going to be one of the most important pieces of this. Because if I do all the work to create a really rich, nuanced, uplifting space for you to speak, oh, thank you, perfect. To speak your truth into, maybe the truth that you've been holding on to and hiding out from for a very long time, that only needs to be released through noting, feeling, speaking, and movement, right? That's what this is for. The final intention is to begin with you to paint a picture, right? Which this is kind of that picture, right? Of what it looks like to thrive and have aligned and healthy, conscious sex and intimacy. So I'm going to start with a story. There are 3 chapters to this story. There's one where I was in guilt and shame, suppression, and repression, sexual repression. There's another where I bounced back, you could say, with extreme expression, intensity of exploration and creativity, but eventually a lot of suffering. And then finally, what has shown up in the past few years, and which is the key and the core of what conscious sex and intimacy is and means, is alignment, is a willingness to step back and humble myself. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure that both of you see me. Alignment so that we can experience our highest and best in not just conscious sex and intimacy, but in money, in abundance, in finance, in intimacy, in connection. All of that is available once we get our sex and intimacy straight. And it takes a lot, because culture and our own brains trick us. The tricks of the mind. The mind, as AA calls it, is cunning, baffling, and powerful in its modes of resisting the truth of yourself and the truth of what there is to work on and address and deal with and heal and move through. So we're going to start with chapter 1. It's 8th grade for me. I am 14 years old, and I'm in my grandfather's bedroom. This story, it goes downhill from here. So prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. And I am, as I said, supposed to be studying, and I'm looking at. Does anybody remember cable boxes? These things that used to get channels on, right? We're on Netflix and internet TV now. So I am standing there flipping the buttons on the cable box, because that's what you have to do, to explore different channels. And I still remember, it's channel 52. We weren't supposed to get channel 52. Channel 52 was kind of distorted and psychedelic colored, and like you would turn onto the channel and then it would deform and then disappear, and you'd have to change and then change back. Because you're so excited about what you're seeing there, because it's weird and new and different, and I am so turned on that before I know it, I am masturbating to pornography. And that is my introduction to sex. No one told me about the birds and the bees. No one told me what I could expect with or in my body or how to relate to other people. My first experience was being programmed by commodified, capitalist, consumer, choreographed, narrativized pornography.
Squiggly.
With squiggly lines, yeah. And so, I was a little messed up by this, as you might suspect, because pornography is not made for you to thrive.